Marvel Rivals is about to have some massive changes coming with the giant Season 1 update, from brand new characters, game-changing buffs and nerfs, and showing that they actually listen to player feedback. We can see that already Marvel Rivals is bound to have a bright future. So if you guys want to catch all the recent information revealed and the official patch notes when they come out, make sure to stay tuned throughout the rest of the video, and of course subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything Marvel Rivals. But without further ado, let's get right into it, as there is a ton of information to cover. First things first, Season 1 for Marvel Rivals will officially be starting on January 10th, followed by the immediate release of the Season's Battle Pass, which you can progress through whenever you want as long as you've bought the pass, and will also introduce 2 of the Fantastic Four as playable characters, being Sue Storm or Invisible Woman, and Dr. Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic will be a duelist, and Invisible Woman will be a strategist, and if you haven't seen their gameplay reveals that show off their kits yet, they look very awesome and unique compared to the wide variety of characters we already have playable just through the game's official launch. Also, if you don't remember or just weren't aware, you won't have to earn or buy these characters. They will be unlocked day 1 for free for anyone wanting to try them out. As of right now, they also haven't said anything about ranked play restrictions for them either, so as of now, you should be able to jump into ranked with them as well on day 1. Speaking of competitive, the ranked rewards will be completely different in Season 1 from Season 0. So, if you really want that Moonlight skin, make sure to grind or end off in gold at least to get your hands on that awesome reward. That goes for all the other rewards being handed out for this season as well, along with their certain criteria. Lastly, on the topic of competitive, there will also be a ranked reset. From wherever you end off from Season 0, subtract 7 divisions from that rank, and that is where you will be reset for Season 1. So, if you ended Plat 2, you would be reset to Silver 3, and so on and so forth. Season 1 will officially be called Eternal Night Falls, as they have Dracula being the main villain for this season. Yes, the very same Dracula that owes Moon Knight his money. Here, they will be introducing all of the Fantastic Four, with the first 2 we mentioned being introduced in this half, and the next half will be introduced about 6 to 7 weeks later, and we will get more information about that half as we get closer to that half's release. This includes information on the remaining members of the Fantastic Four being released, along with their info on their kits, information on if we will be getting a soft or a hard competitive reset during the half, and more. This season will also be introducing 3 new maps based on Season 1's theme, being called Empire of Eternal Night, with varying locations, which will introduce the Sanctum Sanctorum, Midtown, and Central Park, which will also introduce a new convoy map for the game and an all-new game mode called Doom's Match, which I'm sure we'll get more details on later. They've confirmed the total playable character count will be 37 characters at the end of Season 1, which is set to include all of the Fantastic Four, including the Human Torch and the Thing that will be added in the second half of Season 1. But, in my opinion, the main villain being Dracula just wouldn't feel right without the rumored and leaked Blade character maybe making his grand entrance at the beginning of Season 2 to take down Dracula. This, in my opinion, could also lead into Season 2's theme possibly being centered around the Secret Sons if they introduce the fan-voted Ghost Rider sometime around Season 2 as well. But that's just speculation, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. All of this, and that's not even all that's coming with Season 1. Next is the buffs and nerfs, which they haven't officially listed the full list of what's to come, but have majorly teased some things we can expect as the season draws closer. From their development update on the game, we know that they themselves have noticed that shield giving and range damage characters have been made meta so far when it comes to the game. They have stated that they will slightly be toning down the prowess of ranged damage dealers like Hawkeye and Hela in order to try and let all ranged duelists have a chance to shine and be more meta. They've also already stated that they will be enhancing mobile variants of the Vanguard class available, like Captain America and Venom. Then they also included that they will be boosting the capabilities of heroes that shine in specialized team comps, and listed heroes like Storm and Wolverine. They stated this was to quote-unquote ensure they were at the cornerstone of unique strategies. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of all these foreshadowed nerfs and buffs below, but overall, I'm on board so far with all these changes, except for the Storm and Wolverine buffs. Although it may be true that these heroes are currently rarely played when it comes to the other heroes on the roster, these heroes are still really good in their own right, or even in current meta comps. If you haven't seen the competitive scene, you probably don't know what I mean, but Wolverine in the championships in North America just dominated in every match he was in. Not to mention, when my friends and I play, Drake, our resident Wolverine player, has literally soloed an entire team while being pocketed on the character. Buffing him might end up being something they revert or change back, depending on how the buffs end up working out. Storm, on the other hand, is also rarely played, but I have seen some Storms also do some amazing work. And having them give a buff around her to the team as a percent is really good as well. They also mentioned at the end that Cloak and Dagger will be getting buffed, and I don't know about you guys, but Cloak and Daggers have been sniping MVPs in a lot of my lobbies as well by putting up great kill and support numbers while having some of the highest healing in the game to boot. Overall though, I'm curious what these exact buffs and nerfs will be, and if they in fact will be meta-defining changes after all. In terms of this last section for this video, let's talk about the section where they 1000% have been listening to player concerns and their feedback. One of those being a slight nerf, I guess, in itself, being that players have been complaining that the indication or timing for Jeff's ulti hasn't been outplayable enough. I personally tend to disagree, but they are tuning the early warning signs for the ulti in order to have players be better able to look out and get out of the way of it. They also listed that on the official website for the game, we will now every half season be updated on current win rates and pick rates for every hero in the game. In terms of ranked play, they will be organized by console and by rank so you can get a clearer understanding of metas and top picks moving forward. Speaking of ranks, they will be adding another rank in between Grandmaster and Eternity called Celestial. This rank will be to further spread out the higher tiered players in the game. Usually this happens in competitive games where there is a big bottleneck of stuck players in a certain rank. This helps thin out that bottleneck and provide people who are actually capable of climbing a more seamless experience. They are also adding a higher graphic option for higher frame rates to be provided while in the game. In addition, exclusively for PC players, mouse acceleration has been a highly requested addition to the settings, and with Season 1, they will be adding just that. That means no more having to mess with the files or just playing with the default acceleration settings. Lastly, Season 1 will also be introducing a streamer mode for people who have been streaming Marvel Rivals. Presumably, this will be to combat stream sniping and keep anonymity in games throughout important phases like the ban phase, or when trying to use the in-game chat to strategize for the match. Anyways guys, that is all I have for you guys on all of the changes and things coming throughout Season 1 for Marvel Rivals revealed so far. But I wanted to thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed or found it entertaining, make sure to scroll down and make that like button glow so we can reach our like goal of 25 likes for this video. While you're down there, consider subscribing as we'll be covering Marvel Rivals as updates come out, other AAA games throughout the year, hilarious content, and more. As always, your support through your viewership, liking, and subscribing is always greatly appreciated and helps me out tremendously against the multi-dimensional threat that is the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to catch you guys next time. Peace!